ShortMeTina, once again from ShortMeTina.com with my nightly recap. I want to say TGIF to everyone. So we're going to kick it off as usual with the overall market. We're going to start out with the SPY, the S&P 500. We closed today at 270.06. We're up rallied about 15%. Right, 15% off of the December lows of around 233. So that's a pretty hefty move in about a month. Based on today's candle, based on volume, based on the close, I think that this little extended rally I 100% believe it's 100% believe it's overextended, and I expect it to pull back. Ideally, it should pull back to that pivot breakout spot of around 260. So going into next week, I'm expecting a bit of a sell-off or a depressed market. What else do we have? IWM, similar story, up a lot since the December lows, probably around 15% or so, give or take. We did trade, in my opinion, somewhat sideways for the past few days, kind of trending up a little bit the last 2 days or so, closed at 149.18. Similar to the SPY, I'm expecting a pullback going into next week. Ideally, you'd want it to pull back to that pivot breakout spot of around 145. Consolidate, in my opinion, we should consolidate there for the entire month of February, then continue the next leg up. And if we can do that, if we can trade more or less sideways for the entirety of February, then watch out. I think without a doubt we're going to surpass the most recent highs that we achieved back in September. What else do we have? All right, CRON, ticker CRON, by far one of the most, I guess in my opinion, one of the most exciting sort of trades or price action for the entire week. We've actually been in this trade dating back to around August when the stock was trading at around 5, and I liked it. I liked the space. Most recently, in my opinion, the chart was setting up for an explosive move based on this inverted head and shoulder, what looks like an inverted head and shoulder in my opinion. We broke above that 14 sort of resistance line, and once we broke above that 14 line, I knew that the stock was going to go flying. It went as high as we can say around 18 to 19 before kind of resting a bit, and then within the last 2 days it kind of gave what I think might be a little bit of a final push. We went as high as 21.79. I did kind of project anywhere from 20 to 22 before a pullback. I believe they're reporting earnings next week. I'm not saying to get rid of your shares, but you might want to consider you might want to consider reducing it. I mean, I don't know what your time horizon is or what your investment strategy is, but again, we're up well over 100% or about 100% from the December lows of around $10. So that's also a very swift move in a short period of time. I believe Citron Research is short. There was like a huge drop. If you look at the minute chart, I'm not going to do it here, but there was a huge drop intraday. I want to say like around 11:30. I might be wrong, and I didn't know where that came from. I thought it was Yakos, but I guess at that point, Citron possibly made it public that he was, or that the firm was short this stock. I don't blame him for shorting it. It is up a lot in a very extended period of time. If you're not a sophisticated or an experienced shorter, I wouldn't short it, but it makes sense why he's shorting sort of this move. Again, it's up 100% in a short period of time. So even if we pull back, say we pull back to 14 and this, it sells off next week, that does not invalidate the bull story. In fact, for me, it would strengthen the bull story. So still bullish on CRON. I'd exercise a bit of caution here. Again, we're up about 100% in a month. What else do we have? Facebook, like I indicated yesterday, and today, I guess might have been a fake out for folks because the stock went as high as around 169, close to 170. But as I indicated yesterday, the stock was showing signs of weakness despite that 10 or 15% move that we saw. So today, for me, it kind of reconfirms that weakness that I was seeing in trading activity. So definitely next week, pay attention. There might be a tremendous shorting opportunity. In my opinion, there's a gap here to be filled at around 150. So you're looking at about 10 to 15 points of downside with Facebook on my short radar. Put it on your watch list. What else do we have? So we have ticker AKER. Right now what you're looking at is a daily chart dating back to 2018, but we can just kind of focus in on price action here. We closed at $1.11 today. So obviously the trading activity doesn't scream bullish in my opinion, so I would pay attention to that dollar level. If we break $1, like if this stock breaks through $1, then I think we can easily retest December lows of around 50 cents. So a bit of downside here if it cannot maintain that $1 support level. What else do we have? Ticker OPTT daily chart. Let's just zoom in. On price action from around December to present, we're off about 5% on the day. Stock closed at around 30 cents, so we're very close to support of around, let's say, 28 cents. I don't like the chart because if you take a longer term view, you'll see that the chart is in a long-term decline, and so to go long, you'd be trading against the trend. However, the stock is pulling down or coming into support of around 28 cents. So if you want to take the chance to wait until the stock gets there, you'll probably get it bounced to around 42 cents, representing something like what, 20 to 30% of upside. So if I had to play this, that's how I would play it. But overall, it's a very bearish chart. What else do we have? Ticker NBEV daily chart. So I've done a couple of videos on NBEV, and so the technicals actually look, the actual pattern that's forming, in my opinion, it looks relatively bullish, right? And a break above that $7 level, if it can remain above there, I can easily see it hitting around $10. So you have about 3 points of upside. What I don't like is sort of like the waning of volume that you see here. Like if we can get volume like this, then it would reconfirm for me this price action that you're seeing here. But considering volume is kind of light, I'd be hesitant to jump in at this point. But if you want to take the risk, if it can remain above 7, then I can see it definitely taking a trip to around $10. 3 points of upside. What else do we have? All right, ticker WFT daily chart up about 20% on the day, closed at 77 cents. So this is why it's good once the stock sort of like pushes through resistance on relatively decent volume. This is why it's good to have those periods of consolidation or sideways movements, because then it's easier for it to continue the move, like we can see in this particular example with ticker WFT. We broke above, let's say, that 60 to 65 area of resistance around here, late January. We spent a few days consolidating, and then we had this huge move, this 20% move today. So as long as we can stay above that 67 level, I can see it easily hitting 90 cents to about $1. So I'm not into trading penny stocks, but if you are, WFT is showing sort of bullish price action. I wouldn't jump in here. I definitely would wait for it to either pull back or play the breakout. What else do we have? Ticker MNGA daily chart. So we closed at $2.99. Huge sell-off, off about 28%, but you know, despite that sort of quote-unquote bearish price action, support held. We can say support comes in at around, let's say, 260 to give it a stretch. Support held. You can see once it got to that 275 level here, we had that bounce. So going into next week, you want to pay attention to 275. If it breaks below that, it can probably get ugly really quickly, or at least at minimum, it will revisit 260. But considering we're off about 30%, if you're looking for a trade on the long side, I'd probably wait until it gets to around that 260 and try to play that bounce. I'm fairly certain you'll get that bounce. What else do we have? All right, we have ticker NIO daily chart dating back to when the stock IPO'd back here in around September. So it's in a well-defined 3 to 4 month range, in my opinion. We closed at 790 again, so it's hitting up more. It's approaching resistance. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the stock pull back. Definitely put ticker NIO on your watch list. It is, in my opinion, a range that's easily tradable, right? You want to buy support, sell at resistance. So if it ever gets a support of around 6, for me, it'd be an ideal place to go long. What else do we have? And let's round it out with ticker ACB. So you know I'm bullish overall in the longer term, in the intermediate and longer term on the marijuana space and sector, in addition to ticker ACB. Sitting here at 740, we're up about 4% on the day, like most marijuana stock. As long as it can stay above, again, that high 4s, low 5 areas, I will be bullish. So anything above that, I'm bullish on the stock. So we're going to cap it there. ShortMeTina, once again, from ShortMeTina.com. If you enjoyed any portion of this video, I want you to do 2 things for me. 1, head on over to my YouTube page at ShortMeTina, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. I do videos every single day. This ensures that you do not miss any. Then head on over to ShortMeTina.com, sign up, become a member. Thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for the support.